Hey there, card slingers and TTRPGers. I'm here taking a look at this Game Master's deck of Boons and Banes by Ginny D, illustrated by, let's take this off, Tim Foley, which I pre-ordered at Target. Got my 20% off and my red card discount. But it's very reasonable even without all that stuff. It's a $19.99 deck. So in terms of card decks, reasonable price. All right, get the props out of the way because we're here to talk about this. Now, I think that the illustrations on this are classic, what you want to see for a fantasy RPG. Ooh, that rhymed. And let's just take a look at the cards and the book. First, we'll look at the book. So this is a book of a deck of Boons and Banes. So we got good, bad, and you don't need to shuffle in reversals. No, wait, did I get that right? Yeah, no, you don't need to shuffle in reversals. I was looking at another deck. I got my brains googled up. Okay, so these cards are Boons and these cards are Banes. So she says the deck is not balanced. Some Boons are more powerful than others, and some Banes are more detrimental. This is by design. So, we like risk, we like chance, we like, we're having an adventure here. But it is meant to inspire. For me, I'm always ready to jump off the rules. So, yeah. And I will probably use this more in solo play than as a GM, but that remains to be seen. It's a new deck and I haven't even used it once yet. So I think that the illustrations are good for me personally, and I think these kinds of illustrations will be good for players in general because I think it sort of leans heavily into classic fantasy RPG imagery. So, if you're playing Star Trek or something, this isn't going to work for you. You're playing a cyberpunk game, this is not going to work. But for classic RPGs, fantasy RPGs, I think it's good. Yeah, and I think that there's a lot in here that's adaptable to other systems. I'm not planning on using it very much with 5e, so yeah. So she's saying the deck it's the Boons and Banes, which we just looked at. There's 40 cards. It's a physical artifact and can be presented in-game as a found legendary item, similar to the deck of many things. So I think that's always nice when you can have something to touch and hold. It's just personal preference, but I think a lot of people also like that. And then she's also created a side quest for each card. So in addition to whatever effects, abilities this is going to have for your character, there's also a suggested side quest. So that could be useful in just sort of generating what to do in a session or what to do for the next session or maybe for our character's backstory. So I could find several ways to use that. And she gives a nice description here. So she's saying if you want, you can separate it into Boons and Banes, or you can use them as a combined deck. So you could let the boon be a reward, or you could, punish with a bane. Somebody offended their deity or whatever. So there you go. That's her little intro. Let's just do a walkthrough here, and then we'll pull out one card and have a look at it. So in terms of size, the deck and the cards are about the same size. They're a little bit bigger than a tarot card. So definitely bigger than a playing card. So this is, a hand, an adult hand. My adult hand. All right, let's just take a look at these. I'm not sure if I'm going to read the titles or not, but we're just going to go through real quick, look at the illustrations. I think you'll see what I was talking about, how it's a good storytelling illustration, right? Like obviously this guy can illustrate for books and stories. I need a little sip of tea there. Right, you could really picture this going, imagine this going with a clear story arc. Love that. One of these days I'm going to play an Esmere. Actually, that's a little bit humorous to me. Okay. Yeah, I got a dark side to me. Oh, lovely. Look at that. See what I mean about telling a story? I would like to see this guy do a tarot deck. That's beautiful. I wonder how the two of them formed a partnership. I think they're a good match for each other, it seems to me. Wow. These are really powerful. Oh my God. Why does this make me think of Gilderoy Lockhart? If you know, you know. Okay. Faye favorite. Love it. Really beautiful. This one I noticed in the introductory video I did before. Foe of the Wilds. That's gruesome. Gemini's gift. We're throwing a little astrology in here, are we? Real life. Oh, I like Hat of the Fool because that sort of implies a decision or a choice that somebody made, and that it's, you know, you're not stuck with it. I like that. Oh, self-doubt. You know what? This is off the gaming path. You could use this as an oracle deck, a divination oracle deck. Absolutely. Could be used for that. So if you're a card reader, you probably picked up on that too. Yeah, in fact, there's somebody that I exchange readings with on a monthly basis at the full moon, and we do just intuitive readings. Like, we just work with the images and not necessarily the official meanings of the cards. This would be a great deck to use for that. Storm Cursed, beautiful. Wow, this has just been sitting on my shelf since I got it several weeks ago because life has really been overwhelming. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, how could I have not picked this up and started? Oh my gosh, I like this guy so much. I'm sorry that I didn't take this out sooner. This is fantastic. All right, has my camera been a little wonky the whole time? Sorry about that, y'all. All right, let's just see how she shuffles. She shuffles beautifully. Good riffle shuffler. I'm not going to do a wash since we don't want reversals here. Okay, very nice. And let's try overhanding it. Lovely. Okay, not too slippy. Good amount of texture. We like it. All right, this is how I read. I go 3 piles and I pick one, and that's what we're going to do now. Ill-tempered. We're going to examine this card. Excuse me. Ill-tempered. Let's see how her index works. I like a good index. Okay, so you have to, but it's pretty obvious that's a Bane. Ill-tempered. Lovely. Okay, that was easy to find. You know, you'd think that would be obvious, but no. I've handled hundreds of little white books, and it's not always easy to find. Okay, here we go. And it is stitch bound, so that's nice. It's not going to fall apart. All right, let's see what she has to say here. Your approach to adversity has devolved into that of a hot-tempered toddler. When you fail a charisma check, you visibly sulk, resulting in a -5 penalty to all charisma checks and saving throws for the next hour. Ouch! Ouch! So I guess if you pull this card, then you're going to have to do a check. I think that's how it would work. The attitude problem affects you on the battlefield as well. When an attack fails to find a target or an opponent saves against one of your spells, you must succeed on a D16 wisdom saving throw or fly into a tantrum. Yikes. During a tantrum, you fall prone. Your movement speed is reduced to 0 and you cannot stand up until the tantrum ends. How long does that last? You yell and scream, creating a ruckus that can be heard by any creature within 100 feet. Oh my goodness, this is bad. The tantrum lasts for 1 minute. Phew. For the duration of your tantrum, the only actions you can take on your turn are unarmed melee attacks. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn to end the tantrum early. Well, okay, you got a chance. If you've had a rest or a hearty meal within the last hour, at GM discretion, you make the saving throw to avoid a tantrum with advantage. That's kind. I like the hearty meal, right? It's like, if you haven't eaten, you could be hangry, so it's more of a chance that this happens. That's some good storytelling, y'all. All right, scaling down. Until level 10, thank goodness she has this scaling down stuff. Failing a charisma persuasion check gives disadvantage on charisma checks. Okay, so you got a chance. And saving throws for 1 hour instead of the -5 penalty. The DC to avoid is a tantrum. Wait, the DC to avoid a tantrum is 12. So what was it before? It was higher, 16. Okay. Funny. It's funny. All right, side quest. To banish this bane, you must travel to Slap Clash Gorge, where 2 Cyclops brothers have been brawling for 100 years over who deserves the Blindmaker Maul, a family heirloom. Reconcile the 2 brothers without violence to heal your own ill temper. A lot of charisma stuff here. So much talking requires tea. To transfer the bane to another person, go to the Cloister of Tranquil Winds, home to monks who have never known anger. Oh, there's a thought. Deface the cloister, oh my God, to anger the spirits there, creating a string of prayer beads tainted by rage. The beads must be traded or sold, not gifted to a new target. Well, that is a challenge. And very different challenges, both requiring charisma. Really nicely themed, good storytelling. I am charmed, and I think it's a pretty reasonable price, especially if you can catch it on a sale or something. So, yeah, I like it. I'm going to give this 2 thumbs up. Ding, ding. And if you give my video a thumbs up, I would sure appreciate it. Let's see what the dice have to say about this deck. All right, well, there you go. This deck is a nat 20. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around. There's more. Bye-bye. Go out there and have fun. Have an adventure.